name of the documentary? Why did you name it that? And what does it mean? Because I know I'm in Kenya. I know what Uhuru means. My last
Right.
name is Uhuru. But for the
Mhm.
viewers, people that never been to Africa, they don't know Swahili, they don't know the history. What does that really mean?
Uhuru means freedom in Swahili. The first country I traveled to on the continent was Tanzania, and Tanzania, they speak Swahili, so that was the first African language I was introduced to, was Swahili. And so Uhuru means freedom. And how I came about the concept is when I went to Tanzania. I remember getting off the plane. It was the first time, I think, ever that you actually got off a plane and walked on a tarmac. It didn't go through the I forgot the name of the bridge that connects, the terminal to the airplane. I can't think of the name of what they call it. So we get off um, the airplane. It was a British Airways flight out of Heathrow, and we're walking on the tarmac. We go inside Julius Nyerere Airport in Dar es Salaam, and then we handled our visa. So I got visa on arrival. There was no AC in that airport. It was hella hot. So then that took about an hour. So then we go to baggage claim. I get my bags, and I remember when I was walking outside, when I left the airport, exited the airport. All the, do you need SIM cards? Do you need phone? Do you need hotel? Do you need taxi? They all just bum rush me. And so when they approached me, they started speaking Swahili. And I told them, like, I don't speak Swahili. I speak English. They said, okay. Then they asked me where am I from? So they started guessing, are you Ghanaian? Are you South African? I said, no, I'm Black American. They said, okay, well, what tribe are you from? And I told them, I don't know. I'm Black American. And to them, they just didn't understand. Like, how can you not know where you're from? What tribe you're from? So I had to then explain to them that all of that was taken away from us during the slave trade. Like, we were completely disconnected and ripped apart from our roots. And they were like, wow, we didn't know that. Which a lot of Africans on the continent have no clue in regards to the impact of slavery. So we're still talking, and like me not knowing what tribe I'm from, I was like, that kind of, I want to uncover that and discover that and find out. So I heard about, I can't think of it, Isaiah Washington. So, Isaiah Washington used African ancestry. This is back in 2011 when I went and I took my African ancestry test back in 2013. So Isaiah Washington, he went to, he took his African ancestry test and it came back Sierra Leonean, and he went to Sierra Leone and got his citizenship. Like, he was one of the first. So then I'm like, okay, well, let me use African ancestry, take a DNA test, and find out what roots find out what tribe I'm from. So I'm Mende on my mom's side. And then more discovery, I'm Yoruba as well. And I'm Balata, Guinea-Bissau. And so just during this journey was to cover my roots and where I originate from. And, that's what I've been doing. So Uhuru means freedom. And through uncovering my roots, traveling throughout Africa, that is how I found my Uhuru.
Wow, thank you for sharing that, King. That's major. You touched on a lot of important points, and I know one thing in the 1960s, a lot of the Black Americans they took up Swahili. That was one of the first African languages that we gravitated towards too. So for you to be able to tap into that on your first journey, that's phenomenal. Um, I could say for myself, it's a great experience when you get on the plane and the flight crew is black, the pilot is black, the airline is black. You get to the airport, it's named after a black person. You go to the ATM, it's black people on the money. The taxi driver is black. The
Right,
baggage
right,
handler
right,
is
right,
black. You're
right, right,
driving down the street, right? You get what I'm saying? Most Black Americans, 99.9%, will never experience that, and that's life changing within the first leg of your entire journey. That's within the first
right.
couple minutes of landing, you get to experience all of that. So that's
Yes,
dope.
sir.
So let me see. Let me get into the next question. Um, Oh, I wanted to address this too as well because a lot of times, like you were saying, when you go to African countries, they don't really recognize you as a Black American off the rip. They see you, you look, like a native or somebody from a surrounding area or country. So I've experienced that as well. They're like, "Oh, you're not from here? Are your parents from here?" They be shocked. They be shocked.